So weird. So weird. It's always something interesting on my podcast, videocast thing. Whew. All right, everybody. Hi, it's Louis Porter Jr. Got YouTube running up, Facebook Live running up. Oh, okay. Oof, what a week. What a week. It is October the 10th. So a lot of you know that like we're having a hurricane on Thursday, sort of, kind of. And it's been a crazy day. I just realized I forgot to do something. Ugh, another crazy thing I got to do. Oh, geez. Been a crazy week. Hey, Jason, what's going on? I'm also quite thankful that, I've been on break. Hey, John, I've been on break now the last 3 days. Today's third day. And I'm off tomorrow. Hey, Thomas. So I'm taking a very long needed vacation before I have to go back to work on Wednesday. I just needed a great break. I've needed it. This whole hurricane thing didn't help, but I am now semi-relaxed, semi-calm, semi-put together, which is huge. I mean, geez, it's huge. People don't realize, when you need time off, you really need time off. And this has been something I needed, very, very much. So I'm in a much better mood. I'm in a much better feeling. So there you go. All right. So tonight, what I was planning to talk about was developing products for your line and things like that and getting people interested on that whole thing. But apparently, today has been the day for Patreon things that have just literally popped off. And like literally the last maybe an hour and a half, maybe a little longer, but an hour and a half, I had a couple of things from Patreon just pop up that people are like, oh, you got to pay attention to this. Oh my God, look at this. So I'm like, holy cow. All right. So I guess I'm dealing with this stuff. What is this? I don't think I'll be doing this. Delete. So, like I said, I planned to do products because I got my clipboard. I was going to show you some cool stuff that I'm working on, but apparently that's not what we're going to be talking about first. I guess we're going to be talking about Patreon. Where was I? I got to get my notes together. This is how crazy it is. So, if you don't know what Patreon is, I've been talking about it. I can put a little link in here so you all can go if you want to actually sign up for Patreon. It's something that gets you interested. If I can find my Facebook page, because God knows it's all confusing here. So Patreon, if you don't know, hey Shanita, Patreon's main purpose is for help people who are creative, like myself, to sign up people and getting them to go online to give you money. It's a great little thing. It works very, very easily. It's almost amazingly simple, and you can get signed up in seconds. And it's quite, for you, it's like an awesome thing. No joke. So I'm all about Patreon. I've been pushing it. I've been promoting it. I've been talking about it. I've been, all over. Everybody's knows I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. I've gotten into it. Now that we're doing our whole Infinite Dungeon thing, I'm looking more and more into it and trying to develop it and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. Hey, Jacob. So, I've really been pushing this. But as of late, I know a couple people were doing stuff on it. And, it's no big surprise. So one person in particular, I kept wondering and kept asking the person, like, why aren't you on Patreon yet? I don't understand that. I don't get why you're not on Patreon yet. And that person, of course, was Owen Casey Stevens. So Owen then reveals to me, he's like, I've been trying to get on there. I keep starting, had some false starts and some stuff, and it's like da. So things happen, This is the world we live in. Things happen all the time. So I'm like, hey, not a surprise. So a couple hours ago, I got a email from LJ, Owen's wife, that said, come support his Patreon page. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I just talked to that guy a couple days ago. I didn't think he's going to actually put it up, all whatnot. So, of course, he's got a Patreon page. So I'm going to put the link in, of course, here. And put it in the thread as I talk, so it pops up, so I don't have to think about it again, since I'll put it in the big notes, but you can see it like kind of live, as it were. Hey, Owen, what's going on? So you can actually see what he's doing. So let's go check. Let's go check what Owen's doing. So apparently tonight I'm going to be talking about writers who have Patreon pages. So this is Owen's Patreon page. As you can see, there's a lovely Patreon video that starts it off, that gives you all the information, plus lists his jobs, which is the most disturbing lists in the world. And, Owen's a friend. I'm still going to talk bad about him about this one. I'm like, look at listen to his jobs. My day job is developer at Paizo Publishing. but I'm also the Freeport and Pathfinder developer for Green Ronin, the lead project manager for Wright Publishing, and the founding publisher of Wright Genius Games. It's like, I don't want to sound horrible when I say this, but Owen, you might be part Jamaican. I mean, because you have like 4 jobs, and I know many Jamaicans who have 4 jobs, so you might be part Jamaican. It's a possibility. I'm sensing some Jamaicanness in you. I'm just saying, she's like, geez, dude, this is crazy. Hey, Emily, thank you for coming by. I do appreciate it. So Owen is working like a madman. And of course, I forgot to mention his own stuff he puts on his blog. So Owen is working like a madman and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So Owen, like anybody smart who does as much stuff as he does, should open up a Patreon page. I'm very big about believing that. Everybody knows how I feel. I think it's smart and it makes sense. Why not? He does a lot of work. Another individual that I've talked about many times who also has a Patreon page that I believe should actually be getting more stuff. And I'm telling this, I'll tell him I said it. Clinton Boomer. Clinton Boomer's been doing it a while. Actually, I'll put Clinton's link in here so you all can check this out and I can go to it very quickly. It's really kind of crazy. So see, Owen, and then Owen trying to be smart. It's 5 jobs you count freelancing. Really, Owen? I mean, there's some poor people out there who are like looking for a little bit of work. You've sucked up all the work. I'm just saying, Owen. There's some poor people. Poor. So Clinton Boomer has his page up. He's got 18 patrons. He's getting paid, $5.65 a month. And that's the part actually I kind of like the most, is that you get to see like how much people are actually generating, because it gets kind of interesting. Like, whoa, what's this? I didn't understand this. Da, da, da. So that's why I got into this whole thing. So, and I know you can change it to percentages. So if people don't want to give the actual amount, you can find out, percentage of stuff. But it's good to know that people are supporting. And I'm like, look, man, I hired Clinton last year to do stuff for our Obsidian Apocalypse for a month-long thing. And he did some awesome feats that he just had on his website. He's giving away for free. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Why are you giving stuff away for free? You're like doing awesome stuff. You should get some money for this. So, he hooked up and got himself set up with a Patreon page, which I'm also a supporter of that. It's one of those weird things. It's like Patreon has really come, I don't even use the word quickly, but quickly. And in my view, and I mean, this sounds kind of crazy, but I think people can get it. Hey, Steven, what's going on? I think this is kind of going to be the new Kickstarter for a little bit. And I think, while people are like, well, Kickstarter, get the money up front. I think this is a very different version of Kickstarter. This is very much the social, the social engine that it's really. I mean, okay, Kickstarter is really about taking your people from Facebook, wherever kind of social media you have, and then bringing them over to Kickstarter to support you. All of a sudden, my video is running slow on my phone. This worries me. It's not. I know it's not my power, and I know I'm hooked up, so I'm a little worried. But I digress. So, the purpose of Kickstarter is to get people there, to get them interested, get them excited, and then, extract money from them on a one-time basis. Patreon, I think, is a little more intimate, because really you're asking people to give you money either on a monthly basis or on a release basis. And depending who you are, that can be a little bit of money or a lot of money. There's that one artist. I don't want to mention the artist names. I got to tag him in here, but I might have to. But if you go on Patreon, you can see basically who's doing very well. You see their numbers. They're right there in live color. Yeah, Jacob, I've noticed my feed is getting kind of jerky on my cell phone. I'm kind of worried about that. It's kind of worrying me a little bit, because I like doing it on the cell phone. I mean, I don't mind the YouTube, but you can't get the same interaction. So I don't know what's going on. And since the Wi-Fi router is right here, I don't know what the problem is. So now I'm a little worried, but I digress. So there's a lot of people who are doing very, very well like that. I guess I'm going to talk about them now. I wasn't planning on this. See, I'm trying not to talk about this stuff, and it just keeps popping up. Raging Swan is another one. Let me put the link in there now. I'll put the link. Another one generating money, for their products online. See, I wasn't even trying to talk about this stuff, guys. I had some other plans. Happens so often with me. I have plans for something, and they don't always work out the way I want them to. And I'm trying to type silently for people so it's not too loud. Yes, Jason is also doing it with Design Champ. It's like, it's crazy. It's very crazy how this has become a big thing very quickly. And I'm a big fan. Like I said, I like the idea of it. I think it fits very well for us as creative people. I think it's a great way to do it. So if you happen to go Raging Swan, oh yeah, I forgot to put up his thing. God, I have way too many windows open. That's another problem I just realized. Holy cow, do I have so many windows open in this thing. So many windows open, including my own. I don't need myself that one. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. I need that one. I don't need my email. Oh, I want to see. Owen is sending me. Oh, that's through my Twitter. Okay, and RPG Now. Boom. I'm keeping RPG Now up. I'm looking at stuff as I go. Woo! It is crazy. Hey Jeff, what's going on? It is crazy up in here. Same with Patreon. Never heard. So we're saying this is from Emily. It's the worst thing could happen to you and Trevor. But the opportunity more. Emily, I think this is going to sound crazy, but I think a lot of people will agree. I think 1 is better than 0. Even if you get one person supporting you, that says a lot. You got one person who said, "I like you. I like you so much. I want to give you money." And you know, it's tough to go from 0 to 1. Don't get me wrong. That first person who comes in, that's the person you got to remember, because they came in and they support you before anybody else. So that first and foremost, you got to treat them right. That being said, you know, getting the one person is kind of difficult. That one person you've got to do something to get them excited. But once you get that one person, you can get another person. You can get another person. You can even get another person. It's a great concept of working hard, and this is how it pays off. I get people who support me. So like I said, I think that's a brilliant thing. I think that's an awesome thing. I think people who are serious about it appreciate it. All right. So all the stuff going on. Yes, Jason, there are some friendly faces here. There are some very friendly faces here. Something else that happened in Patreon today, which is another weird, like I said, it's a very weird day for Patreon. I'll put this link up. Apparently, Patreon redid their YouTube page. And they have a YouTube page with a bunch of videos to help you out as a new person and I don't say publisher, but new publisher for Patreon. You can check out the videos, a lot of stuff that can help you out. And it's kind of weird because it's like all this stuff happened like today within like, of course, of 3 hours. So it's just weird. It's a very weird thing. It's weird, but it works. So if you go, I suggest you go over and check out the YouTube page. There's a lot of information there. I found some stuff that I'm using today that I learned. I tell people, please sign up. If you go, I got the link in here somewhere. So if you're interested in possibly doing it and you haven't done it yet, go. Well, yeah, on this one's going to be down. All of them will be down. On this one, you'll slide the link here, or you'll find the link in the description in Facebook up here later when I get everything set and going. So yes, we've got that going on and all kinds of fun stuff. Wow, man, today is like, it's just a crazy day. It's been a crazy day. It started out crazy and it only got crazier. So that's a personal issue. So talking about product lines, and this is something that I can talk about pretty great because, I released Neo Exodus, and then over the weekend, I've been updating a lot of the original Neo Exodus layout that I did to this new modified one that I'm currently using. And I really was like, man, I really got to update the layout. And I started doing that. And I said, well, okay, what's the next part we're going to make for Neo Exodus? Because we just released the core campaign setting, and then we just released our second book on dragons. And they both did very well for us. I was like, wow, this dragon book is doing well. This is our Psionic Dragon. This is because of Dreams Guard Press, Psionic Rules, and Paizo's Psionic Magic Rules. So you have 2 different versions of each dragon in it for depending how you play. So we did that. And of course, Jeff Lee did all that hard work on that again. Jeff Lee, if you don't know already, Jeff Lee is not going to put Jeff Lee's name in here. I hate having to stop and type. So Jeff Lee is a well-known freelancer who does work for me. He is my head guy with Neo Exodus. And Jeff has done a lot of work with me. He's done a lot of stat blocks. I've abused Jeff in all kinds of stat blocky ways. So if you if you want a stat block, I'll tell you this one. If you want stat blocks, go see Jeff. Makes it sure they're interesting stat blocks. But Jeff is definitely a stat block friend. He knows how to do good stat blocks. They're exciting. They're interesting. We got one of our best, and I say we, like I did something. We got one of our best reviews on one of my favorite pieces that he ever put together. And when I pitched it to him, he was like, I'm all on board with that. Is our Cyrix, which is basically our version of Ultron. Let's not kid anybody. And it came kind of at the perfect time. So it's like, boom, we did our Ultron. The movie was kind of big with the Avengers, and a win-win for me. Plus, Ultron's one of my favorite villains. It's a great villain. But I digress. So we were doing that kind of stuff, and we released that. So I said, okay, what's the next kind of product I want to do? So initially when we did Neo Exodus, of course, Neo Exodus is available online. There'll be a link in the description. I don't need to promote that link. I'm going to promote Jeff because Jeff's much cooler to promote. Yeah, so if anybody who's a publisher looking for a good writer, Jeff is a good guy. I can't recommend him enough. We've been working together now 4 years. 4 years, Jeff? I think 4 years. Yeah, I think it's been 4 years. Wow, it's crazy when you think about that. So yeah, I can't recognize him enough. So I was like, I need a new product. What am I going to do? And so I did a little marketing research. So a while ago, when I was talking to some people over at Wati, this is like a while ago, and they kept saying, they're talking about marketing, and I was talking about marketing, just understanding how it works for them and the whole deal. Oh, put it in the wrong spot. And they told me something that I thought was interesting and kind of weird, but kind of cool. They always sold more products when they put them with a dragon on the, see, yeah, 4 years, I knew. When they put them on the cover of a book, they had the word dragon in it or an image of a dragon. That it just sold better. And it's one of those, okay, that's kind of weird why things would sell better just the dragon. But I mean, dragons are popular, I get it. But it would really, really help the sales. If you put the word dragon in a book, it would help sales. This kind of reminds me of what like DC Comics did when they used to put monkeys on the cover of their books because it helped sales. Very, very weird. Hey, BJ, what's going on? So I decided, okay, we'll do one on dragons. We'll see how it goes. And the dragon one did great. The first one did awesome. I'm like, wow, that's good money. I like that. And then the second one we just put out is doing just as well. I'm like, wow, this dragon thing, this might be the thing. But this also came to another point of view that kind of drove me crazy. It's like, okay, I, as a game publisher, I want to do my own unique thing, and I want to make it cool and different, and da-da-da. But I noticed a problem that's happened. And this happened specifically with New Exodus, and even probably a little bit even when I did Haven City of Violence. People have certain mindset and ideas for things they are used to seeing and what they expect in campaign settings. And I kind of did the opposite when I did New Exodus. I didn't do any of the standard races in there at all. I did all basically new and unique races, except for humans. Humans were the only ones that were not, and everything else was like a new race. And initially, and tieflings, or Gevit at the time, but not tieflings. And it really got to a point that it was tough for me to get people to jump on to do any kind of new product. It's very, very weird like that. They didn't want to try it out, and I was like, "This is a good product." I don't know, and a lot of that was going on. So I said, "Okay, let me think of a way I can do this differently. What can I do to keep something cool in essence, but flip it in a way to make it really, really interesting?" So I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And I said, you know what you got to do? You got to include some stuff for people that they can recognize automatically, and they know it's D&D or Pathfinder or whatever fantasy game you're playing, and they can easily access and go, oh, okay, this is this. I understand what that is. This is kind of cool. Boom. So with that, we decided on New Exodus to expand to include androids, half giants, and our tiefling. That really were the kind of corner pieces that actually helped, I think, got people a little more interested. And it made more sense when we basically have giants ideas and concepts I like, but I went with a different concept with them that I thought would work a little bit better. And we just tied it to half giants. And then we went with a more Polynesian feel to them and look. And I think that actually helped also. Android, same kind of thing. I knew I had an idea and look that I wanted to go with. I knew visually what I wanted to do. And I tied it in kind of similarly to the campaign setting we were running. So it's a very easy fix. That being said, I did all that kind of stuff. And then I said, okay, we want to do monsters because monsters are an important thing. So let me show you. You may not be able to see this. It's great on the thing. Here's my list that I'm working with. Yes, my handwriting is atrocious. I don't care. This is a list I'm doing. I'm breaking down ideas and monsters and things that I'm using. You put it up here for everybody else to see. So, and it's backwards, which is just weird. I just realized it might be backward in your thing. I can't tell. Very weird. So these are all the things I'm working on, some ideas. And I said, and the first one that popped in my mind was, oh, I want to do goblins for New Exodus. Because, goblins are the standard like monster that people are used to. And they all, and Paizo has developed their own look, specifically for their look for their goblins. And I like the look for their goblins and the way they present them, being happy. Ha, I get it. But for me personally, I don't think that's, I don't like that type of goblin. I don't want to make them cutesy. I want to make them, terrifying. Small little guys with sharp teeth are just, oh my God, it can be really terrifying. And, make them more sinister than idiotic. Make them, cunning. So I said, okay, maybe we should do a whole thing on goblins. So we do just goblin kind, really. So goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, I'm going to reimagine them for New Exodus. And I know right off the bat, I said, okay, the look of our goblins, we're going to have definitely the traditional features they say they should have. But first thing I decided, okay, we're going to make their skin color like black as night, like holy cow, it's horrible. These guys are covered in soot, kind of black. You can't see them. When they're standing in the shadows, boom, it's hard to see them, kind of that kind of feel. I wanted to put that more in there. So visually, I'm going to do that. Give them the teeth will still be sharp. They're going to have yellow eyes. They're going to be a little more sinister, not like singing songs, more very quiet, cunning killers. And I think that can be a very cool look to it. Then looking at the hobgoblin, I read, and there it said, oh, the skin type color was gray. And I'm like, geez, what if their skin was more like stone color, like a granite, hard granite looking? Even though it may not have actually had an effect, but it has that look of hard, tough. I think visually that plays itself in a great way. And that's part of it too. When you take something that is familiar, you've got to give something unfamiliar to make them kind of scared. Because look, if I told you, oh, you're going to face a little goblin, it looked like a regular goblin, you kind of know what to expect. If I tell you you're facing a goblin, it looks nothing at all what you're used to seeing, you're like, what the hell kind of goblin is that? Your mind already starts taking over well, how's the goblin different? And then when it does different things you're not used to, it only helps with your playability. I think that's that's very, very important. I think a lot of people forget that. Something I heard from Chunky Reynolds a long time ago, he made a monster. Let me rephrase that. He sent his group a group of monsters against his regular PCs. The PCs didn't know what they were, but he described it totally different. But the stat block he used was a very, very generic monster. He just modified, how they look. And so looking, at least in my case, and I believe it's correct, helps change how things are, the level of scary. Because you can take, everything's a stat block. You can take a stat block. Take any kind of stat block. Look, take some monster you use all the time. Okay, let's go, let's take orc. Rip off, forget the history, just use it as a stat block. Just look at the stat block. Change a couple things. Change, maybe instead of using this weapon, they use that weapon. And then you change their backstory. You make them Arabic. And you change the way they look. And you change that. So now you have the exact same monster that you reskin that looks very different. Then when people first meet it face to face, they don't know what to expect. And you can keep doing that with tons of monsters. I think that's the basic core. Take a monster and give a different appearance to it. It's not look, it ain't rocket science. We're not cutting atoms on this. It ain't that difficult, but it's a great idea, and I think it works. I think people will enjoy that. I think people want to see that kind of thing. That's important. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this. So visually, I'm still working on what the bugbear should look like. I don't know exactly, but I know I'm going to do that. I'm most likely going to do 2 undead books because probably I might either have Jeff do one of them, but that's a lot of headshots, a lot of stuff. We might do 2. I got to see how that goes, and I'm gonna figure out what one goes in what one, because I don't have Lich and Vampire in the same one because that's kind of like overkill. Maybe Lich in one and Vampire in the other one. Maybe Mummy in one side. Look, a lot of cool ideas in this. I got to work this all out. So I broken it down through stuff like Goblin kind and Undead and Lizard Folk, because you can do a lot of cool Lizard Folk stuff. Giants, because Paizo's got their Rune Giants. Why can't I have a giant? I'd like to have a cool giant. I haven't thought of a cool one yet for Neo Exodus, but I haven't announced it yet, but I'll do a cool giant, maybe some cool stuff that you haven't seen together with giants, but something to think about. Aberration, since, of course, we have a whole chapter on psionics, so I'm thinking about, and I've been thinking about this one for a long time, connecting all these different types of psionic monsters, like the Mind Flayer, and Intellect Devourer. I've always said, well, aren't they related? They're probably related. The Intellect Devourer is probably like what a Mind Flayer grows into kind of scenario. And then a Neo-Lizard. And it's like there's lots of cool things I'm connecting, actually genetically and how they are. And this thing is this, and this thing's another evolved version of this, and this. So I'm tying them all together with the aberrations. I have a cool idea for that. I think that's going to be awesome. And then it said, oh, we should do one with clockwork, because a lot of people love clockwork things. They're like, oh, clockwork is very cool. But clockwork, robots, constructs, anything built, we're going to put it in this one big thing just called Clockworks. And, I think we can go crazy on that. I think there'll be some awesome, awesome stuff. So, we take stuff we already know, stat-wise, change up stuff that we need to change up, make it a little more interesting, and then reskin it with better-looking art and a better-looking history. And then you have a whole new product. Now people are like, well, Lewis, you just gave us, a whole thing. You told us, why should we buy your product? You're just reskinning stuff. Yes, I'm reskinning stuff. But it isn't about the reskinning. It's about how cool the thing, whatever it is played in your campaign. If it's awesome and cool, people will dig it. And that's what's important. That's the important part. Pay attention. That's the important part. Don't worry about reskinning and like, oh, they find out what it is. Who cares? You can make anything terrifying when people don't know what it is. Just change it. Just change it how they see it. Change how they perceive it. They'll be terrified and they'll be running. And there's going to be a lot of screaming. And they'll be talking about, oh my God, those things are so horrible. Not realizing it was something it wasn't like it was a rust monster. But you change it up, make it look different. And, instead of, it disintegrates our weapons, but you make it something they're not used to. Instead of it's rusting, just make it some kind of cool magical effect. All of a sudden, it's like, boom, your weapon is now destroyed, and it crumbles in pieces, broken and shattered. Oh, my God, what's that? Same exact thing. Remember, it's all about how the effect looks. So that's how I get down like that. I think it's a great idea. I think it works. So there you go. It's very exciting, very exciting, very exciting. Yeah, and I think that's probably going to be it tonight. But it's almost time to go. I didn't realize it was that quick. It's over so quick. It always is. So other fun stuff we can talk about. New Exodus, talk about Jeff. Tomorrow, I don't know what company we're going to be covering. I'm still going to be off on vacation, so I will have some time to read about some stuff. But I might find something cool that I might put up for you guys tomorrow. That'll be interesting. But I'm always trying to find interesting stuff. Maybe dig a little deeper in this whole Patreon thing. See how Owen is doing. Because Owen has done very well. Like, Owen is well known. Owen, so far, he's been up for, I don't know, 3 hours. 3 hours. He's got himself 8 Patreons and $26 in his pocket. Well, not really literally in his pocket, but it's moving in that right direction. So yeah, man. So if you're like someone who wants to do a Patreon, think about it. Think about doing it. Think about checking it out. I said, follow the link that I put here. Follow the link I'm going to put everywhere. Think about it. There's a lot of great ideas for you to express yourself. And there are a lot of people out there who want to support you. Don't ever think that people don't want to support you in your dreams. You'd be surprised. If your dreams are awesome, people want to support you because they want to be part of those awesome dreams. There's nothing shameless about that, Jacob. It is not shameless promotion. It is authentic promotion. That's how I see that. Thank you, Jason. I do appreciate sharing like this. Every day I try to do something fun and interesting. Oh, before I forget, the 21st, I'm actually going to have a lovely Friday show with Owen Casey Stevens. And all the stuff I was just talking about, you can find out about what he's been doing and what he's planning because, Owen's busy. So he's got some cool ideas. Plus, I'm hoping I can drag some good information about Starfinder out of there. Because I'm not going to lie. And Owen already knows this. I want Starfinder in my greedy hands. Let's not kid anybody. There's nobody going to support Starfinder like I'm going to support it. They talk a lot of good. Oh, shut up. You're not going to be supporting it like me. I cannot wait till Starfinder comes out. I cannot wait till I see what we can play. I can't wait to see what kind of races we get to play. I can't wait to see the tech. The tech. And spaceship battles. Spaceship battles, boom. Cannot wait for it. Gonna be awesome. Cannot wait. Gonna rock that one. No joke. You think I'm playing with you? You're silly. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So yes, that's one is for me. So there you go. It's good to know people. It's good. So that will be the 21st at 9 o'clock. There's a link for it on our events. Oh, now I got to put it in here. See what I did again? See what happens when you talk this stuff up? You got to put links in everything. It's that kind of thing. That's what we do here. Put a lot of links in. Always a lot of links. All right, I'm going to finish this stuff up. I'm going to put all this stuff online that you guys can check out. Come by tomorrow. There will be something interesting, of course. Thank you, as always, for coming by. Oh, and of course, I forgot. I'll put it right here. And this, see, it's so weird when I do it like this. Oh, no, not back that way, this way. Like right here, push the subscribe YouTube button. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. We always need people subscribing. I think we went down again. We're at 194. What is it going to take for me to break 200? I have no idea, but this is kind of funny now. I'm kind of laughing at it. So help us get to 200 because, like I said, every little person's important. Don't ever forget that. I'm getting out of here. I got some work to do. I will talk to you all later.